The wound that opens the heart. The wound is where the light enters you. These ancient echoing words do not speak of healing as we often understand it, a closing, a sealing over, a forgetting. Instead, they invite us into an intimate communion with the very places we have learned to turn away from. Think of it, that raw, tender spot within you, a silent testament to something broken, something lost, something deeply missed. We carry these invisible scars, not just on the skin, but etched into the very fabric of our being, shaping the way we move through the world, the way we love, the way we fear. There is a universal ache, a profound longing that settles in the quiet corners of the heart. It is a yearning for connection, for wholeness, for a truth that feels just beyond our grasp. Perhaps you have felt it in the hollow echo after a profound loss, or in the subtle current of loneliness that runs beneath the surface of daily life. This isn't merely sadness, it's a deeper kind of thirst, an unquenchable desire for something essential, something that feels like home. We spend so much of our lives trying to fill this void, to mend these perceived breaks. We construct elaborate walls around our vulnerabilities, believing that if we can keep the light out, we can keep the pain from entering too. But what if the very act of sealing ourselves off, of denying the wound, is what keeps us from the light? What if the separation we feel, the ache of being adrift, is not a curse, but a profound invitation? Consider the paradox. The very place where we feel most broken, most exposed, is also the gateway. It is the unlatched window in a darkened room, the crack in the foundation through which a hidden spring might flow. We are taught to heal by closing, by forgetting, by moving on. But some wounds are not meant to close in the traditional sense. Some are meant to remain open, not to bleed endlessly, but to become a perpetual opening, a receptive space. This journey we embark on together is not about erasing the past or transcending suffering. It is about transforming our relationship with it. It is about understanding that the fire that burns within us, whether it be the passion of love or the searing agony of loss, is not meant to consume us into ashes, but to refine us into something more pure, more luminous. The ego, with its intricate defenses, often acts as a thick veil, obscuring this deeper truth. It tells us to harden, to protect, to shut down. But the heart, in its ancient wisdom, whispers a different path, one of surrender, of gentle acceptance, of allowing. This is not a path for the faint of heart, but for those weary of endless struggle, who sense there must be another way to engage with life's profound mysteries. It is for those ready to listen to the quiet voice that knows, deep down, that the greatest healing often comes not from avoiding the darkness, but from daring to step into its heart. We begin not with answers, but with a question, a feeling, a recognition of that tender spot within. For in that recognition lies the first flicker of a different kind of light, a light that does not banish the wound, but illuminates it, transforms it, and ultimately allows it to become the very source of our deepest wisdom. The human heart, in its rawest form, often begins its journey not in serenity, but in a profound state of yearning. Consider the relentless current that pulls us forward, a silent, ceaseless demand for something more, something different, something other than what is present. This isn't merely a fleeting wish or a casual preference. It's a deep-seated, almost primal hunger that whispers from the core of our being, a persistent echo of scarcity. We chase after fleeting shadows, convinced that the next acquisition, the next achievement, or the next connection will finally quiet this internal clamor. Perhaps you've known this particular kind of emptiness, a sensation that settles deep in the chest, even when surrounded by abundance. It's the feeling of reaching for something you can't quite name, an elusive truth that seems to shimmer just beyond your grasp. This isn't merely a fleeting emotion, it's a foundational experience that shapes our earliest endeavors. We seek love, believing its embrace will complete us. We pursue success, convinced its validation will solidify our worth. We gather possessions, hoping their presence will fill the void. Yet so often, the satisfaction is ephemeral, like water held in cupped hands. It slips away, leaving the thirst unquenched, the longing undiminished. Moreover, this deep-seated yearning often manifests as a ceaseless striving, a restless wandering across the landscapes of our lives. We move from one experience to another, from one person to the next, perpetually searching for that elusive piece of ourselves we feel is missing. The weight of this search can become immense, a silent burden carried beneath the surface of everyday interactions. It's the feeling of being perpetually not enough, or that some essential ingredient for contentment has been withheld. This internal narrative, often unspoken, drives countless decisions, pushes us into relationships that may not serve us, and propels us towards goals that ultimately leave us feeling just as empty as before, albeit perhaps more accomplished. Think for a moment about the moments when a significant desire was fulfilled. Did the profound quietude you anticipated truly settle into your soul? Or did a new desire, a fresh hunger, almost immediately take root, pointing towards the next horizon? This isn't a critique of ambition or connection. Rather, it's an observation of the human pattern, the way our hearts seem wired for an endless pursuit. The very act of seeking, when driven by this foundational longing, can become a self-perpetuating cycle, an intricate dance between hope and disappointment. We project our deepest needs onto the external world, imagining that if we can just arrange the pieces correctly, the perfect partner, the ideal career, the flawless life, then this inherent ache will finally dissolve. Consequently, when these external sources inevitably fall short of our immense expectations, a profound sense of disillusionment can set in. The mirror of the world reflects back not the image of wholeness we craved, but the persistent echo of our own internal scarcity. This is the human before the saint, the raw, unrefined experience of needing, wanting, and often feeling profoundly alone in that wanting. It's the solitary figure standing at the edge of a vast ocean, longing for a shore that seems perpetually out of reach, convinced that the answer lies in the distant horizon rather than within the very ground beneath their feet. This persistent echo of unfulfillment, this deep resonance of a missing piece, is the fertile ground from which all further inquiry must spring. It is the undeniable evidence of a thirst that the material world, in all its glittering allure, simply cannot quench. When we allow ourselves this quiet dissolution, the veils begin to lift, not through force, but through a softening of our inner gaze. The ego, with its constant narrative of lack and separation, gently recedes, allowing the deeper, more expansive self to emerge. We discover that true belonging is not found in external validation or perfect circumstances, but in the unwavering acceptance of our own complete, authentic presence. The journey shifts from a desperate search for something out there to a profound remembrance of what has always resided within. The sense of being lost begins to transform into the quiet certainty of returning home, not to a physical place, but to the sanctuary of our own awakened heart. This quiet wisdom, once glimpsed, transforms our entire way of being. The wound doesn't disappear, it becomes a window, a permanent opening through which the light of understanding and compassion can continually flow, both into ourselves and out into the world. It is a living testament to our resilience, our capacity for transformation, and our profound interconnectedness. The true practice begins now, not in seeking new paths, but in walking more deeply upon the path you already inhabit, with open eyes and an open heart. Allow this reflection to settle, to resonate within the quiet chambers of your soul. For in this gentle remembering, in this brave act of allowing the light to enter where you once felt broken, you discover not just healing, but the boundless, luminous essence of who you